Just a minute, I'm adjusting the camera. Let's start the class. So good morning to each and everyone, those who are present in today's live class. So due to my, the PC problem, I could not take up the class at 5:30. So, and also I don't want to miss the class as I have promised. So we are left with the two concepts from the lesson live process, dear students. So even the class only live process last two concept the transportation in plants and also excretion in plants and human beings. Idana complete madre, we are done with live process lesson. Okay. After this, I'll be sharing the PDF of the list of questions which will be asked in the examination from the lesson live process. I think you all can clearly see the board. If you're not able to see, just tell me so that I can adjust the camera. Okay, it was all, a sudden, change because usually my method of teaching is different. Okay, let me now start with the transportation. So I think you all are able to see the board, children. I think you all are able to see the board. Yes. Okay. So quickly respond. I think you all are able to see the board. Okay, fine. So in today's class, I just wanted to explain how does the transportation takes place in the plants because e question exam alli kelidare. So before starting the class, I forgot to welcome each and everyone who are present in today's class. So let us now understand what is meant by how does the transportation takes place in the plants. Students, the transportation in the plants takes with the help of two tissues. You all have learned about this, right? So you know that there are two tissues that are present in the plant. So namely we call them as vascular bundles. We call them as vascular bundles. They are xylem and phloem. Okay, xylem and phloem. Okay, these are called as vascular bundles, and these vascular bundles they help in transporting the products in the plants. So now let us understand individually how does this transportation, what is meant by transportation? Transportation is nothing but the movement of water, movement of minerals and movement of the soluble products of photosynthesis from one part of the plant body to other part of the plant body. We call this as transportation. Okay. So when I talk about transportation, you must know example ಏನು question ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ particularly transpiration ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು, translocation ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. So let us now understand how does this transpiration and translocation takes place in the plant body. First, let me explain you about the transpiration. See, how does the transpiration takes place in the plant? See, when I talk about transpiration, how does the transpiration or movement of the water and minerals takes place in the plant and the kelpul? Okay, for carrying the water and minerals, the plant have a specialized vascular tissues, so called xylem. Okay, so here is the plant alli xylem ide. So let me write a small structure so that it is very easy for you to ನೋಡಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೆಚ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಿ xylem cells are present in the roots. Xylem cells are present in the roots. ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ? Xylem cells are present in the roots. See, the xylem cells which are present in the root are in contact with the soil. They are in contact with the soil. So root alliruvanತಹ cells ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? They are in contact with the soil. So now what happened? The roots which are in contact with the soil take up the ions from the soil. They take up the ions from the soil. So what do they take up? Roots take up the ions from the soil. As root is taking the ions from the soil, it creates change in the concentration of ions. ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? Change in the concentration of ions ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Soil ನ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ? See, roots are in contact with the soil. ತುಂಬಾ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನಾನು. Roots are in contact with the soil. So what do root take? The root take up the ions from the soil. So which part of the root is taking? The xylem cells which are in contact with the soil take up the ions. So ions na ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? It creates the change in the concentration of ions. Change in the concentration of ions ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Change in the concentration of ions ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಈ change in the concentration of ions ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, this change in the concentration of ions help the water to move upward. Help the water to move upward in the plants. Plants alli water move ಆಗೋ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Both, the water and minerals, they get transported from the roots to different parts of the plant body. Okay, you must know, children, you must know this very importantly. You have to know. Okay, see who is helping in the xylem anta kelodadre. See, in the xylem we have tracheids and vessels. Okay, tracheids matte vessels ide. Tracheids and vessels, they help in carrying the water and minerals from the roots to different parts of the plant body. So illond question barutte. See, what in case if the plant body is very large? If the plant body is very large, it is not possible for the roots to just carry the water with the help of diffusion process. Hey, water move ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, with the help of diffusion process, the water which is present in the roots is transporting to different parts of the plant body. Okay, change in the concentration of ions in ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, water is diffusing. But this diffusion of water is not possible to the plant or a tree if their height is very large. So hagadre, how do these plants take up the water and minerals to different parts of the plant body? That is my next question. You know that during daytime, the evaporation takes place throughout the different surfaces on the earth. Alva? So water bodies in the evaporation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, plant body in the evaporation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, and even from different organisms body the evaporation takes place. So now as I am talking about the plants, what happened? The evaporation takes place in the plant body. Evaporation ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Plant body ನಲ್ಲೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So this evaporation causes the loss of water. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Evaporation ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Loss of water ನ cause ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Okay, that means ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? See, if the plant's size is very large, the body of the plant or a tree is very large, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Evaporation continuously takes place. Evaporation ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ? See, the stomatas which are present in the leaves, they open and close. We already learnt about the role of stomata. Stomata ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? They open and they close because of the guard cells. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? As a result of it, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? The loss of water takes place. So we have a particular term for this. So what do we call the loss of water anta helidre? The loss of water is called as transpiration. Exam alli 1 mark ge ee question anna kelunta chances irutte. Either they can ask what is transpiration directly, or they can ask how does the transpiration is taking place in the plant body. Okay, quick ಆಗಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ summarize ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. See, loss of water takes place during the daytime. So what do we call the loss of water as? Loss of water is called as transpiration. What is loss of water called as? Loss of water is called as transpiration. This transpiration majorly takes place in the aerial parts, ಅಂದ್ರೆ upper part of the plant body or a tree body ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So transpiration ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, see, transpiration ಅಂದ್ರೆ loss of water ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So loss of water ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? It is creating a force. This force we call it as suction force. I think you all are able to see it. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. This creates a suction force. Transpiration creates a suction force. Suction force create ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? The water from the xylem is sucked. It is like how you are sucking the juice from the bottle. If ಹೇಗೆ ಬಾಟಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಹಾಕಿ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ಸಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, in the same way ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? Because of the more temperature, the evaporation, that is transpiration, is taking place. Transpiration increases the suction force ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, due to increase in the suction force, what happened? The water from the xylem vessels, what happened, is pulled up. It is pulled up and it is reached to different parts of the plant body. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಏರಿಯಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ the aerial parts may get dried up. ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? But it is not getting dried up. ಯಾಕೆ ಡ್ರೈ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, it is because the water is continuously reaching to the parts where there is loss of water taking place in the aerial parts. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಎರಡು important aspect. One, they ask about how does the transpiration takes place in the plant body. What is transpiration? How does transpiration takes place? And you have to write. So what do you write? So you write that, so the roots which are in contact with the soil, the roots, correct ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೇನೆ ಬರಿಬಹುದು. The roots which are in contact with the soil take up the water and minerals. Okay, so that they also take up the water and minerals. Before taking up the water and minerals, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. The roots which are in contact with the soil take up the ions from the soil. As a result of it, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, change in the concentration of ion ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Change in the concentration of ions creates, diffusion. That means they're helping absorbing the water and minerals from the roots. Okay, but this absorption of water and minerals may not reach to the plants if their height is very large. During that case, what happened? Transpiration pull become a major driving force. Transpiration pull becomes a major driving force. And transpiration ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Transpiration pull is a major driving force only during the daytime. Okay, because during night time transpiration does not take place because of the absence of sunlight. Okay, so now what happened? Due to the increase in the transpirational pull, there creates a suction force. As a result of it, water from the xylem will be pulled to different parts of the plant body and it reaches to the aerial parts of the plant body. ತುಂಬಾ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ, ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನೇ ಬರೆದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ನಿಮಗೆ ಫುಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಹೌ ಡಸ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಇನ್ ದ xylem? See, the components of xylem which is helping to transport the water and minerals are tracheids and vessels. Okay, they take up the water in the unidirection. The water in the plants, the minerals in the plants will be transported inside the plant body in one direction. Nodi, ee riti onde direction ಇದೆ. So it goes in one direction. It goes in one direction. So the movement of water and minerals takes place in unidirection anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. I think you are clear with this. Okay, let me check out if any comments are coming. I think you are clear with this. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ what is meant by transpiration? Yes. Quickly children, everybody tell me. If everybody understood, I can go for transportation. Everybody understood what is transpiration? Are you all able to see the board properly? Are you all able to see the board properly? Yes? Okay, very good. Fine. Okay. So if you are able to clearly understand, I can go for the next concept, that is the transportation. Okay. See, let me now explain you what is meant by transportation. That is, what is meant by translocation. We say translocation, transpiration, translocation, under transportation. Okay. So let me now take up this part. Okay, and explain how does the translocation takes place inside the plant body. So we are now dealing with the translocation. We are now dealing with the translocation. Translocation. See, translocation andre ಏನು? What is meant by translocation? Translocation andre transportation of soluble substances. I can say soluble photosynthesis substances from leaves to different parts of the plant body ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. From leaves to different parts of the plant body, we will call it as different parts of plant body, we will call it as translocation. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು translocation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಲೀಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಲೀಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆದಂತ ಫುಡ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, it has to get transported to different parts of the plant body. ಇದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು translocation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Leaf will prepare the food which is prepared in the leaf because of the photosynthesis. Because of the photosynthesis only the leaf manufacture the food, alva? So prepare the food enagutte, it will be transported to different parts of the plant body. Idanne ನಾವು translocation anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ how does this the food get transported? See, the food get transported with the help of the phloem tissue. With the help of the phloem tissue, what happened? The food get transported. That is photosynthesis soluble products. Soluble products of photosynthesis anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. They get transported with the help of phloem tissue. Who is helping in the phloem tissue? Next question. Who is helping? Cu tubes. Cu tubes with the adjacent companion cells. Cu tubes with the adjacent companion cells. They helping. Cu tubes along with the adjacent companion cells. Cu tubes andre enu? They are the component of a phloem tissue. Companion cells is also a component of phloem tissue. Phloem tissue ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ Cu tubes ಮತ್ತೆ companion cells ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? They carry the synthesized food particles. ಅಂದ್ರೆ photosynthesis ಇಂದ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಫುಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Then how does the food is being transported? See, the food get transported in the bi-direction. ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. So bi-direction ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಫುಡ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. What is meant by bi-direction? ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಹೀಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ xylem ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೇ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಇನ್ ಯೂನಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಬಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಲೀಫ್ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೋ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಲೀಫ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಸೆಂಡ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್. ಈ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಫುಡ್ ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬೈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಅಪ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟು ದ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಡೌನ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಇದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಹೌ ಡಸ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫುಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ phloem? Transportation of food takes place in the phloem in bi-direction, both in the upward direction and also in the downward direction. Idistu clear aitalla? So now I would like to tell you last point about the translocation. So before that I would like to conclude with this. What is meant by translocation? Transportation of soluble photosynthesis substance or photosynthesis solubles ಹೇಗೆ ಬೇಕು ನೀವು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಓನ್ ವೇ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬಹುದು, ನೋ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್. ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು soluble products of photosynthesis anta. So from leaf, ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Leaf in the different parts of the plant body ಗೆ we will call it as translocation. So ಈ translocation mainly ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? They happen with the help of phloem tissues. Phloem tissues ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ components help ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? It is Cu tubes and companion cells. ಹೇಗೆ food transport ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? It is transported in the bi-direction. It is transporting in the bi-direction. ಈಗ ಇದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? So next here you have to understand, what you have to understand here is, you need to understand how does this translocation is taking, that is translocation is taking place. See, translocation ಹೇಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? How does the translocation is taking place? See, translocation takes place, say for example this is a plant body. So this is a plant body ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? So plant ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು leaf ನ part ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಈಗ leaf ನ part ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? The food is getting prepared. Food is getting prepared in the leaf. Okay na? So ಈಗ prepare ಆದಂತ ಫುಡ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, it get transported because of the osmotic pressure which is being created. What is meant by osmotic pressure? ಹೇಗೆ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ osmotic pressure ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, see, as there is Cu tubes and companion cells, what happened? No, the ATP molecules which is present, ATP is nothing but what? Adenosine triphosphate. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಇದು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕರೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ATP ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸುಕ್ರೋಸ್, ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸಾಲ್ಯುಬಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಈ ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ದೇ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್. ATP molecules, they make the food, that is amino acid and sucrose, to make transported to different parts of the plant body by creating the osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure create ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, see, ಈಗ phloem tissues ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, phloem tissues ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮಿಯಬಲ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? phloem tissue ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಫುಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಈ ವಾಟರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? These the manufactured food, that is the synthesized food particles, will reach to different storage organs like roots or the fruits or the stems. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೀರಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರಿಬೇಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾನು ತುಂಬಾ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕನ್ವೀನಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಗೋ ರೀತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫುಡ್, ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸುಕ್ರೋಸ್, will be transported with the help of the ATP molecule, because this is called as the energy. Okay, so it creates an osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure help the movement of water into the phloem tissue, and this tissue help the food to move to different storage organs like stems, fruits and also roots anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Clear ಆಯ್ತಾ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್? So just let me check your comments. Clear ಆಯ್ತಾ? Clear ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ? ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಏನಾದರೂ? Clear ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ? ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? How does the transportation is taking place in the food? ಹೇಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? If everybody is clear, I go for excretion part. Excretion part ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Yes. Okay. Someone is telling ma'am explain once again. Okay, fast ಆಗಿ explain ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ I just wanted to come and check in my mobile like ಹೇಗೆ ನೀವು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಮರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಕೇರ್ಫುಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ they ask you ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಸಿ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಏರಿಯಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ soluble photosynthesized products from the leaves to different parts of the plant body ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So transpiration ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Transpiration takes place in the unidirection. That means the movement of water from the roots to different parts of the plant body takes place in one direction. Translocation ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Synthesized food particle ಏನ್ leaf ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, that is getting transported to the plant body both in the upward direction and downward direction. So we call it as bidirection. ಅಂದ್ರೆ bidirection ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಇಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. ಸಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಇದು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ದೇ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನೀಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್? ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಏನು? ಒಂದು, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ carrying the water to different parts of the plant body. Secondly, it regulate the temperature of the plant body. Plant body na temperature regulate ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. It help in maintaining the temperature of the plant body. ಇದೆರಡು ಕೂಡ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? The water is moved to different parts of the plant body. As a result of it ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? So loss of water will be recovered by the water which has been absorbed by the xylem vessels. ಸೊ ಅರ್ಥ ಹೇಗಾಗಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀರಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೀರಿ. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ನೀವು ಪೇಪರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ನೆನಪಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ATP ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಸ್ಮೋಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಇಟ್ ಮೇಕ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಟು ಮೂವ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಫ್ಲೋಯಿಮ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ. As a result of it, the soluble products of photosynthesis will be transported to different parts of the plant body. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ನಾವ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ದೇರ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ನ ಮೇನ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಯಾವುದು? ನೆಫ್ರಾನ್. ನೆಫ್ರಾನ್ ನ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. They can ask you to write the structure of nephron. They can ask you how the urine is produced. They can ask you what are the nitrogenous waste materials that is being removed during the the formation of urine ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ರೀತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Excretion is nothing but removal of the harmful metabolic waste. Removal of the harmful metabolic waste, okay, from the body of an organism. Harmful metabolic waste. harmful yake, it is not needed by our body. Something which is harmful is not needed by our body. Okay, so that kind of waste is thrown out of our body. So adana throw madake en beku, we need a certain specific organ, correct na? So can you tell me now whether the unicellular organism and multicellular organism both have the same process of excretion? Tell me quickly, I will come and check your answer. Whether the unicellular organism and multicellular organism both have the same type of excretion. Do they have? Okay, no, no, no. Good, Vignesh, Joseph, many of you are answering, very good, Shashank, Shika, many of you are answering. Okay, just check your answers. Yes, you all know this, right? See, unicellular organism, say for example amoeba. Okay, how do amoeba excrete the waste from its body? Nutrition part ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ, ನೆನಪಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. See, amoeba excrete the waste products from its body just with the help of the process called diffusion. Diffusion. See, unwanted materials from its body is thrown out because of the diffusion in the case of amoeba. Amoeba ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇಡದೇ ಇರೋ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ನ just ಬಾಡಿ ಇಂದ ಡಿಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. But what about the multicellular organisms like us? ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ multicellular organisms. So ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ excretory organ which is present in our body. So which is the excretory organ which is present in our body? The excretory organ which is present in our body is the kidney. Kidney is the one organ which is helping to the filter all the nitrogenous waste materials which is present in our body. Okay, kidney is the excretory organ. So inside kidney what is present? Inside kidney we have a basic filtration unit called nephron. What is nephron anta kelbodu? Nephron is the basic filtration unit of excretory system. Basic filtration unit of excretory system is called as nephron. Idana nephron anta heltivi. Approximately 1 to 1.5 millions of nephrons are there in kidneys anta heltare. Approximately 1 to 1.5 millions of the nephrons are there in the kidneys. What is this kidney, or what is this kidney all about? And the next let us understand. Let us me first explain you about the structure and the function of the excretory system. Exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, at least ನೋಡಿ basic drawing ಆದ್ರೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. It's very important. Okay, see excretory system ನ ಬರೆದಿ ನೋಡಿ. How does an excretory system look like, and what are the parts of excretory system, and what is the function of excretory system ಅಂತ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ. At least this much you have to know. Sometimes ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೇಳುವ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟರ್ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಹೀಗೆ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ, ನಾನೇ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರೆದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ನೌ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. See, human excretory system has the pair of kidneys, children. Pair of kidneys. How many kidneys are there? There are 2 kidneys. So we call it as pair of kidneys. And we have pair of ureters. What is this called as? We call this as ureters. We have pair of ureters. And we have a urinary bladder. We have a urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is there. And then we have urethra. We have urethra. So urethra is present here. Clear aitala? So we have pair of kidneys, ureters, urinary bladders and urethra. What is the function of kidney? See, kidney help in filtering the nitrogenous materials which is present in the blood. Example 3 or 4 marks ge explain the parts of excretory system anta kelidre ನೀವು ಏನು ಬರೀತೀರಾ? The excretory system of human beings or excretory system basically consists of pair of kidneys, pair of ureters, a urinary bladder and a urethra anta ಬರೀತೀರಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತೀರಾ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರೀತೀರಾ? ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರೀತೀರಾ? ಸಿ ಕಿಡ್ನೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ excretory system. Okay, they consist of nephron which is called as the basic filtration unit anta ಬರಿಬೇಕು when they ask about the kidneys. Okay, so kidneys. Next explain ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ureters. Okay, so next ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? See, the filtered urine from the kidneys will pass to these ureters, which is a tube-like structure. Which is called as tube-like structure. The filtered urine from the kidney enter to what? They enter to ureters. They enter to ureters. So ureter in the enagutte, the urine gets stored in the urinary bladder. Next part is urinary bladder. So this urinary bladder stores the urine until the pressure is created. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗೋವರೆಗೂ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಬ್ಲಾಡರ್ ಫಿಲ್ ಆಗೋವರೆಗೂ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ urinary bladder, it will collect the urine. It is not that kidney is filtering the urine, you're frequently going and passing the urine. It's not like that, right? Do you feel like every 1 month, each minute you go and pass urine? It's not like that. You wait until your urinary bladder get filled. So what is urinary bladder's function? Urinary bladder is actually made up of muscles. It is completely made up of muscles in the madide. So this urinary bladder fills the urine until the pressure is created. Once the pressure is created, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, urinary bladder ಹೀಗಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, expand ಆಗುತ್ತೆ pressure create ಆದಾಗ. So expand ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, the signals will reach to your brain and your brain gives the indication that the urinary bladder is filled, that you have to go and urinate. ನೀವು urinate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ urine ಅನ್ನು ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. That time what do you do is you pass the urine out of the urethra. You send the urine out of the urethra. Clear ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? So kidneys are the basic filtration unit of the excretory system. What do kidneys do? They filter the nitrogenous waste materials and send to the tube-like structures called ureters. Ureters carry the urine from kidney to urinary bladder. Urinary bladder stores the urine until the pressure is created. Once the pressure is created, the urine from the bladder will pass out through urethra. ಇದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಹೋಲ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಬರೆಯುವಂತ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಪ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಟು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, 4 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಇದೆ, ಯುರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಯುರಿನರಿ ಬ್ಲಾಡರ್ ಇದೆ, ಯುರೇತ್ರ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ 4 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಚೆಕ್ ದ ಮೆಸೇಜ್. ಎಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಎಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬೇಗ ಟಾಪ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೆಫ್ರಾನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಫೈಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್, ಡೋಂಟ್ ಫರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಟು ಲೈಕ್ ದ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಅಟ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ? ಆರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? Okay, most of you are saying yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. Very good. Okay, so fine. So now let me go for the formation of urine. Let me explain you the structure of nephron. Nephron structure ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಬರೆಯೋದು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನನ್ನ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So we have the cup shaped structure. Quickly I'll write the structure of nephron. You can observe how quickly I am writing. So ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಒಂದು 2 or 3 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? So this is glomerulus, Bowman's capsule we have renal artery here, we have renal artery, okay? You must know the structure of this, children. You must know the structure of this. So once a ನೀವು ಬರೆಯೋದು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಈಸಿ ಆಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ರಫ್ ಸ್ಕೆಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. So to make you understand this concept. Okay. So what is this called as? This cup-shaped structure is called as the Bowman's capsule. Cup-shaped structure is called as Bowman's capsule. Okay. Then the thin branched structure of the blood vessels, this is called as glomerulus. Okay. The spoiled tube-like structure, this is called as PCT. We call it as proximal convoluted tubule, or if you can just write the tubular nephron. You can write tubular nephron. Okay, this U-shaped structure is called as loop of Henle, or we call it as Henle's loop. Eradu kuda correct. And the last, this is called as collecting duct. This is called as collecting duct. We call this as collecting duct. Collecting duct anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. I think this side you are not able to see. Collecting duct. Collecting duct anta ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. We call this as collecting duct. Okay, and here we have renal artery. Renal artery ಇದೆ. So ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಯೂರಿನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Last, this is called as renal vein. This is called as renal vein. Renal vein ಇದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಬರುತ್ತಾ nephron structure? How many of you know to write a nephron structure? I think ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ nephron structure ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. Okay? Yes sir. Okay, fine. So concentrate about what I am teaching you right now, children. It's very important. You have to know very clearly what I am teaching. This is a structure of the nephron, basic filtration unit of the kidney. This is the structure of nephron. Okay, so fine. Okay, let me explain you about how does this nephron functions. You know why we need nephron? Yak nephron beku? See, the unwanted products such as carbon dioxide in our body we throw out from the lungs, right? Carbon dioxide will be carried from different parts of the body back to the heart. Heart inda enige hogutte? Lungs ge hogutte. Which will carry? Nene class na nimge helidni. The only the arteries which carries the deoxygenated blood is pulmonary artery. This pulmonary artery carries the unwanted, that is deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Lungs ಗೆ carry ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So lungs ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? The carbon dioxide is thrown out in the alveoli. ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಪೆನ್ ಟು ಪೆನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ನೀವು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ತುಂಬಾ ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. So as we are throwing out carbon dioxide from our body, similarly the unwanted materials such as nitrogenous waste materials like urea, uric acid has to be thrown out of our body. So nitrogenous waste materials, how are they entered to our body? Nam body ge hege bantu hagadre adu? See, we take the plant products. We take the plant products and also animal products. You know, plants na grow madbekadre, cultivate madbekadre, they use fertilizers. Correct na? And also plants take up the nitrogen from the soil. Correct na? So ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಈ nitrogen they contain, which are present in the plant, so they in turn receives along with the nitrogen, the plant receives the fertilizers like urea and uric, they receive the fertilizer like urea also. So plant ಅನ್ನು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಕೂಡ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಗೆ, ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? So the urea which has been absorbed by the plant will enter to our body when we consume the plant products. ನಾವು plant products ನ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Those the substances which has been absorbed by the plant, so called urea, get entered to our body, and that is not needed by our body. We call them as nitrogenous waste materials. That has to be filtered. Adu filter agake namge ಏನು ಬೇಕು? We have this structure called as nephron, which is present in the kidney. Almost 1 to 1.5 millions of nephrons are there in the kidneys anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, depends on the size. So ಈ nephron ಹೇಗೆ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿ, 3 steps ಬರಿಬೇಕು. First step filtration, second step reabsorption, third step secretion. 3 ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ನ ಬರಿಬೇಕು, ನಿಮಗೆ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. First step filtration, second step the reabsorption, third step secretion. ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ? See, the blood from the renal artery enter to the cup shaped the Bowman's capsule. Blood ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? renal artery ಇಂದ Bowman's capsule ಗೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. This Bowman's capsule contains the thin blood capillaries, so called the glomerulus. Glomerulus ಇದೆ. ಈ glomerulus ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ Bowman's capsule and also the glomerulus. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೀರಿ, ಫುಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? See, the blood from the which part? From the renal artery enters to the Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule contains the glomerulus, which are called as the thinnest blood capillaries. Here, the filtration of the blood takes place. Filtration of blood ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. The blood which gets filtered and then passed to the PCT, that is the proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ selective reabsorption ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Selective reabsorption ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನ್ reabsorb ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? See, ಈ blood filter ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ some of the useful products are also present in the blood. So our useful products like amino acids, salts and glucose along with the excess of water. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ನೇಮ್ ದ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಗೆಟ್ reabsorbed ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಯೂರಿನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್. 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Which are the products which are the reabsorbed? The products which are reabsorbed are the amino acids. ತುಂಬಾ important 1 mark ಗೆ amino acids, glucose and salts. They get reabsorbed during the formation of urine because they are considered to be the useful materials for us. ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಾಪಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, reabsorb ಆಗುತ್ತೆ in the PCT. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So second step ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, reabsorption. So in the reabsorption, what happened? The materials which are needed by the body like amino acids, glucose, salts, they get reabsorbed. ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, reabsorb ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, and water which is reabsorbed depend upon the amount of excess of water present in the body, and also the amount of the product which has to get excreted. Idra mele enagutte, water enagutte, reabsorb agutte. Next, now after reabsorbing the useful materials, now the unwanted materials, so called nitrogenous materials. Yaudu nitrogenous materials? Idu kuda gottibbeku. The nitrogenous materials such as urea and uric acid. Yaudu nama body inda horgade hogodu andre urea matte uric acid. The unwanted materials, nitrogenous materials yaudu andre urea matte uric acid enagutte, they will pass the loop of Henle and reach the collecting duct. Collecting duct ge hogutte. Every collecting duct are in contact with the kidney. That is, kidney nalli iruvanta vessels ge connect agirutte. So now this collecting duct sends the urine to what? They sends the urine to the ಹೈಲಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ಹೈಲಮ್ ನಮಗೆ PUC ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಈ ಕಿಡ್ನಿನ ಈ ರೀಜನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ದಿಸ್ ರೀಜನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as ಹೈಲಮ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ then what happen? The urine get entered into ureters, then to urinary bladder, and to the it is passed out to the urethra. More important step, ತುಂಬಾ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸೊ the blood, they enter to this Bowman's capsule with the high pressure. Okay, the blood enter to the Bowman's capsule and reaches the glomerulus, which are called as thin blood capillaries. The filtration takes place here. After the filtration of blood, what happened? The next step, reabsorption of the useful materials such as amino acids, glucose and salts takes place in the PCT. Okay, now what happened? After the reabsorption of useful materials, the nitrogenous waste materials they travel through the loop of Henle and reach the collecting duct. Okay, now nitrogenous waste materials such as urea and uric acid is thrown out through the collecting duct to the ureters and reaches the bladder and sent out through urethra. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ತುಂಬಾ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಈ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ನ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ. yes, tell me, can you everybody is it clear? Concept is clear? Concept clear ಆಯ್ತಾ? Concept clear ಆದ್ರೆ I quickly go for the transpiration in, that is excretion in plants. Clear ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನೋಡಿ, diagram ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, if you want to learn the diagram, please you have to check out the diagram. ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ಟೆಲಿಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ನ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಓಕೆ, ನೋಡಿ ಈ 3 ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ನ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕು. ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. So now we are moving to the last part of this lesson. That is, we are reaching to excretion in plants. Last part of this lesson, that is excretion in plants. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, how do plants excrete ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, sometimes 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. how do plants excrete ಅಂತ. See, plants excrete in many ways. So some of the ways, see, the plants excrete the oxygen. Plants excrete the oxygen during photosynthesis. Plants excrete the oxygen. ಯಾಕೆ? photosynthesis ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನೀಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. It is considered to be a waste product. Photosynthesis ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ plants ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? They take in carbon dioxide, they give out oxygen. So oxygen is considered as one of the waste product during the photosynthesis. Clear ಆಯ್ತಾ? Second, plants also sends out some of the I can write, see, some of the waste product some of the waste products are stored in, they are stored in old xylem in the form of gums and resins. Gums and resins agi enagutte, some of the waste products are stored in the old xylem. Later they are being excreted out. And some of the waste products are also stored in the leaf of the plant body. Later they may fall off. Leaf enagutte on the plant body in the loss agutte. Some of the waste products are also stored in the leaf. Later they fall off. And water also been lost during the process of transpiration. Transpiration agಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, water is also lost. So loss of water also takes place. Loss of water also takes place during the process of transpiration. And ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬರಿಬಹುದು, some of the waste materials, okay, some of the waste materials diffuse through the soil, some of the waste materials diffuse through roots in the soil, ನೋಡಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಒಂದು ಮೇನ್ ಆಗಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು, oxygen is a waste product which is thrown out during the photosynthesis process. Secondly, some of the waste products which are stored in the form of resins and gums in the old xylem is also excreted out. Later, loss of water also takes place during the process of transpiration. Loss of water takes place during the transpiration, and some of the waste materials which are present in the plant body, they diffuse through the roots into the soil. These are some of the ways that the plants excrete. Clear ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಮುಗಿದಿದೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಲೈವ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾವ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈವ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್? ಎಸ್, ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಡು ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್? ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ವಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ಮೆನಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್. ನೋಡಿ, ನಾನೀಗ ಸ್ಕೋರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜ್ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸ್ಕೋರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 2 or 3 ಡೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಆ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನೇನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 75% ಆದ್ರೂ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಈಗ ಸಮ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಏನ್ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡನ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್, transportation, excretion and also respiration. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ now are you all ready to answer? 2 or 3 ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿ so that I can end the session. Okay, so I want to get my PC to get repaired. So PC repair ಆಗೋಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ I'll be taking the classes through the boards. You all have to watch the classes. So this half of the board is because of the light reflection you are not able to see properly. So I'm using only half of the board to explain you. So I think you are comfortable with this. Comfortable ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಓಕೆ ನಾ? ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? So you all are able to see it, right? Okay, clear, right? Okay, fine. So the question here is, okay, now question quickly, who will answer? Let me see. The question here is, name the part of the human heart which receives the oxygenated blood to the heart. Tell me the part of the human heart which receives the oxygenated blood to the heart. Let me see who will answer. Who is answering? Let me see. So Sharan Gowda has given first answer. Before Sharan Gowda, I think one more person has given right answer. Children, it is the pulmonary vein. So now you can ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Pulmonary veins are the only veins which carries the oxygenated blood from where? From the different parts of the plant, that is different parts of a human body to the heart. Heart ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ oxygenated blood ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Pulmonary veins ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. See, ಎಲ್ಲಾ veins ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ it carries the oxygenated blood, but the only vein which carries the oxygenated blood is pulmonary vein. Okay, Yes. Now tell me, name the part of the human heart which sends the oxygenated blood from how can I say? Okay, name the part of the human heart which sends the oxygenated blood to different parts of the body. Name the part of the human heart which sends the oxygenated blood. Okay, first given by Vignesh, next given by Likit, Sonu, Rashmi. Many are telling Shashi. Okay, very good. It is not AROT. See, correct of spelling tilkoli. It is AORTA. AORTA. It is not AROTA. It is AORTA. Clear aitala? So and tell me, okay, what is the function of the amylase? Tell me, what is the function of amylase? Nenne class alli helidini. What is the nutrition part explain ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. What is the function of amylase? What is the function of amylase? What is the function of, okay, Vignesh has given the first answer. It converts the starch into sugar. Very good. Anu has given the correct answer. Very good, very good. Okay, Sharan has given the right answer. Yen madutte idu? It converts the starch into sugar. Starch na sugar agi convert madutte. So name two functions of, or I can say like this. Okay, which digestive enzyme help the activation of pepsin? Which digestive enzyme help in activation of pepsin? Who will activate the pepsin? Tell me. Who will activate the pepsin? Very good. So first ID Likit, creation and ID in the bantu. Next Likit, next Johnny, Drakshayani, Anu, Neela. Many of you are giving answer. Very good, very good, very good. So exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳುವಂತದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ, ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದೀನಿ ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಏನು ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and comment whatever opinion you have about this video in the comment section. ಇನ್ನೂ ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಈ ಲೆಸನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಫೈನಲ್ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಲ್ಲ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 3 days, ಹೋಲ್ ಡೇ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಲ್ಲ, ಆಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಲೈವ್ ಟಿಲ್ ನೌ. See you all in tomorrow's live video in the morning. Before that, today evening you have a session for the Zen paper. Zen paper session ಇದೆ. So Zen paper ನಾನು evening discuss ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Thank you so much. Have a nice day, students.